African penguin populations are in peril, and the two main factors affecting the species are climate change and overfishing. Populations have declined by 50% since 1978, and climate change in particular has driven certain fish stocks further south, away from penguin colonies. That means they have to travel further out to sea to find food, leaving many of them open to becoming prey, and the predictions for these species are certainly not good.
Scientists do agree that within the next 2 years, about 2026, the penguins will be, or African penguins will go into extinction. And that is vastly because of human interactions happening all over the world and specifically on our coastline, with no particular islands for these birds to sit around or to nest around, with a lot of heat and climate change coming in, as well as food resources being less than what it is now. This is a big concern with where we sit on the number line with all our penguins in the country.
Cape Town has three main penguin colonies on Robben Island, Stony Point, and Boulders Beach. Their breeding pairs face many threats. However, climate change is increasingly becoming an issue that threatens the survival of the species, including along South Africa's nutrient-rich west coast.
The African penguin declining now, it's a massive threat. These animals have reached the near threatened um, numbers on the IUCN list. There's currently about 40,000, sometimes probably just less than 40,000 left. And if you look at the stats, it's per pair. So instead of counting them as per bird, you count them as a pair because they are monogamous. And generally, these birds can only produce once they've fertilized or once they've been mating. So looking at at where they sit on the scale, it's not even close to where we would want them to be.
Historically, the west coast of the Cape has contained high concentrations of food resources for the African penguins. But scientists say rising sea temperatures brought on by climate change has shifted fish stocks further down south and away from the colonies. Now, this has meant that penguins have to travel further out to sea to find food, and some of them never get to make the journey back, which ultimately leads to a decline in the species.